Hi Year 12, today we're talking about the quotient rule, which is the last major type of differentiation. This is Bailey. She's my golden retriever and she really likes peanut butter. Okay, so we use the quotient rule when we've got a fraction, where we've got a function u divided by a function v. So the product rule was when we had a function u times v. The quotient rule is where we have a function u divided by v. And this is the rule over here. You'll hear me say a little bit differently, but it's the same rule. vu dash minus uv dash over v squared. So the product rule and the quotient rule. Okay, let's do an example. We've got y equals 1 plus 3x over x squared plus 1. So u is the function on top, 1 plus 3x, v is x squared plus 1. dy dx, let's write out the rule, vu dash minus uv dash all over v squared. Alright, so v is x squared plus 1, use lots of brackets, times u dash, which is 3, minus u, which is 1 plus 3x, v dash, which is 2x, all over v squared, which is the whole expression, x squared plus 1, all squared. Now, you don't always need to expand the numerator, but in this case we can, so let's do that. 3x squared plus 3 minus 2x minus 6x squared. We're going to leave the denominator as is. Almost never do you expand the denominator. And there we are. So let's take a look at the second example. So we've got u, v, it's a fraction, so we know we need the quotient rule. vu dash minus uv dash all over v squared. Remember, lots of brackets. So v, 1 minus 2x all squared times u dash. Okay, so bring the power down, decrease the power by 1. You might like to do it over on the side, and that's completely fine. U square root of x times v dash. Now this is the chain rule. Bring the power down, keep the center, the inner function, decrease the power, multiply by the derivative of what's inside. Just go one step at a time. V squared, 1 minus 2x squared is to the power of 4. Okay, now I'm going to leave that as is. It's rare that you're going to get an extra mark for simplifying that function, and it's very common that you'll lose marks by making a mistake. I'd encourage you to have a go at this first. Stop the video and then come back and see if you're right. Okay, so u, v, writing out the rule, vu dash minus uv dash all over v squared. Okay, so v, 3x minus x squared times u dash, which is 2x, u, x squared minus 3 times 3 minus 2x all over 3x minus x squared in brackets all squared. Now this one we could expand if we wanted to. Next one. Once again, have a go, come back and see the answer. So we've got y equals x squared minus 3x plus 1 over x plus 2. So it's a fraction, so we know we need the quotient rule. And it's a show that, which means even if we can't do it, we can still do part B. So VU dash minus UV dash over V squared. And V dash, which is just 1. All over V squared. Keep the brackets because it's all of it squared. Now we need to expand this out and simplify because we're showing that it equals this. So just some simple algebra on the top. And we're showing, so we need to show our working out. We can't just write it down.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. If you're interested in coming
and we're successful. Okay, for what values is it 0? Well, the function's only going to be 0 if the numerator equals to 0. So that means x squared plus 4x minus 7 equals to 0. So we've got a quadratic. Can we factorise it? No. So if we can't factorise something, we're going to need the quadratic formula. So I'm just going to substitute straight into the quadratic formula. Simplify it down. And I get -2 plus or minus root 11. And that's the value for which dy dx equals 0. And remember, dy dx equals 0 when the tangent is horizontal. So at this point, the tangent is horizontal. Okay, now where is it undefined? It's undefined when the denominator equals to 0, where x equals -2. In other words, it's going to be a vertical line when the denominator equals to -2. Okay, so here are 2 examples that I want you to do. Turn the video off, do them, come back and check.